Let me get my light right. What's up, folks? Shout out to everybody watching this on the replay. You know what I'm saying? We're waiting for our folks to come in, check in with us. You dig? What's up, Court?
What's percolating, Jim? Everything good with you, man?
Hey, man, listen, I ain't got no complaints, man. Ain't nobody listening, man. You know what I'm saying? You back in the city, right?
Yeah,
Let me
man.
Let me go with the little. No, that's kind of dark. Let me go with
I
the.
do it for the city because I know the city love me. Do it for the city because I know the city love me.
What's up, though, bro? Everything good?
Yeah, man.
How was your
Yeah.
week, man?
It was long. It was fruitful, and then it was long because I've been traveling across the country back and forth, and
Yeah.
we had some good times, some misadventure. When you travel a lot, you run into a little bit of misadventure. So, but it was nothing that nothing major. Just car accidents, crashes, people. You know what I mean, doing all kinds of reckless stuff around the holidays. I got pulled over in a town called Water. Man, it might as well be called Bubble Hump, Louisiana.
See, man.
Listen.
That's why I fly over all that nonsense, man.
Listen. I just, I be wanting my kids to have different experiences, and so we did the traveling thing. So the thing about it was, we was on a strip of road, no bullshit, 100, like literally nothing between me and 100 miles. There was nothing out there but cornfields and cows and pastures, right? It was one like, I don't even know what that structure was called. I think it was like a stable or something. It wasn't a cop hiding in a stable. Pulled me over for going 7 over the speed limit.
Question is, okay, so you admit that. So you actually were speeding.
I was going 61 and a 55.
Listen, that's how they get their revenue, man. For the folks coming in, man, do me a favor. Please hit the like button, love button. Matter of fact, hit the love button. Show us love. Hit the love button. Let us know who's checking in with us. I see more people coming in right now. Appreciate you guys. Let us know.
I felt like Jay-Z, man. You were doing 55 and a 54.
Listen, man, it is what it is, man. But at least you made it though, because these days you get it running with them folks. You might not make it.
And it wasn't nothing but cornfields and pastures out there. I was being nice as I could be. Yes, sir, Mr. Officer.
You'd have ended up in one of them cornfields, man. So we got some folks checking in with us. Rochelle is here. What's up, Rochelle? How are you? Ken is here. What's up, Ken? Don is here. We can officially start. What's good, Don? How are you, brother? Akil is here. What's up, Kill? Jamil is here. He says 6 miles. He says 6 miles over. They don't even count.
I mean, it count for them because I'm definitely gonna send them a check.
Yeah, you ain't just send them a check and just leave me alone. Rochelle, appreciate that. Appreciate that love.
Yeah, definitely make sure y'all hit that love button. Make sure y'all hit that like and share button on YouTube.
Everywhere, man. But Sakina's checking in from Vegas, man. We gotta get
out. Y'all be getting around, man. I want to be like y'all.
Listen, man. So we're not gonna be here long tonight. We want to talk about some stories and some things going on in the news. Answer any questions that folks may have. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to anyone who sent some of the youth through to our camp last Saturday. The first class was a success. It was amazing. We're trying to get better, so we're trying to add new stuff in. A special shout out to Latoya. She might not even be here yet, but she held us down. She still holds us down trying to do work. So the camp is amazing. We got the next class tomorrow. Also, for those that have signed someone up, an email went out this week. So you should have got 2 emails. One was the invitation to the Google Classroom for the kids, and the second one was a reminder that you got an invitation for the Google Classroom for the kids. So what you got to do is check your spam, check your promotions folder, because they try to play games and don't let our emails come through. But it's literally just getting you set up so after the class you can watch the replay of the class. So and we're going to put some more material in there. So that's going to be our way to communicate with the students. So Rochelle said the kids love it. I appreciate that feedback. Thank you so much for that. Jose, what's up, Jose? How are you? Sakina said, yep, got both. All right, cool. I see a lot of folks did sign up for the classroom. I see some didn't, but I just want to make sure I get that word out because I know how sometimes the emails get lost. But Corey, man, you do anything in the market this week, brother?
No, I was traveling, so I did our MDC play, the Home Depot play, smacked Home Depot in the face. but that's about it. I ain't do nothing else.
And a matter of fact, we didn't announce it on this show because we do so much content. Like on our Sunday class, which is live in By the Hood University, we talked about it. What we're doing with the MDC, we're about to turn the MDC into something else. So we already do options. We already do options alerts. We do options education, but we're adding DeFi, cryptocurrency DeFi will be added to the MDC slate. So what we're going to do is, no change in the price, by the way. The price stays exactly the same, but we're going to have a Discord. We already have the Facebook group. So the Discord is where you get all the alerts in terms of things, things of that nature, but you'll also get all sorts of information about DeFi. And our brother Jay is just as deep as the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? We also got Spoon, who's going to do cover call information over there. You know what I'm saying? We got
Spreads too.
We got, yeah. So we got Passer doing Hakanachi. I like to joke with him about that.
And Passer's going to be doing long-term hold.
Yep.
Buying hold stuff.
His SWAN strategy, and SWAN stands for sleep well at night. So he's bringing that over to the Discord.
I'm going to be doing the swing trades over there. I'm going to be putting up the swing trade screeners.
And I'm gonna be like launching robots. I'm in 2035 over there. So y'all just gotta come through and see what's going on, man.
Jim be talking about West Atlanta Center launching rockets. That's how he be in crypto. Like Jim, low key be launching rockets in crypto.
Real quick, we got some stories we gotta talk about real quick, man. I'm gonna bring some of these stories up, just because I think they're interesting, something to talk about that happened in the course of this week, man. So this story right here. Your man Jerome, man, only white dude named Jerome I know. He met with Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong in May. So you guys can believe what you want to believe. Like I see people, somebody put in our group, and I think it was Michelle, how people still talk about it's not real, it's not this. This is the Fed. This is the Federal Reserve Chairman meeting with the Coinbase CEO, right? So
that's all you need to hear. You know where it's about to go.
And we already say, listen, Coinbase is the Feds. That's one of the jokes. That's one of our inside jokes. Like, yo, Coinbase is the Feds. So
that's not a joke, though.
I mean, it started as a joke. But with all that being said, listen, man, May 11th, they had 2 meetings. So here's a whole story about this. You guys can look it up. But he definitely is out here meeting with folks in the space. So when people tell you it's funny money, or it's not real, yada, 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 okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you just take a look at that. You know what I'm saying? Shout to Pastor who's in the comments. We about to take it higher like Bobby and Keith did on Versus last night. Yo, shout out to my guy Keith Sweat. You guys know I'm Eve Sweat, so you know what I mean. Got nothing but love for Keith Sweat. Bobby's the king too. Definitely was amazing. They definitely were lit though. I'm not gonna lie, man. Keith was going off that Ciroc. Bobby looked like he ain't sleeping about 2 weeks.
He looked like he was ready to rob the DJ.
He told him like, "Yo, back in the day, I'd have robbed." Like he told him. So, but anyway, man. So
I didn't know Keith Sweat was a thug. I thought. Keith
you got to read about his history. Keith Sweat has a crazy story, like from being.
No, I know Keith Sweat. He had a banging job and he got a crazy.
There's a story before that, bro. He left the streets to get into. I think he's a stockbroker. If I'm not mistaken. But this whole story is crazy, man. So. But shout out to Keith Sweat, man. That's the guy. You already know Eve Sweat's in the building. But another story real quick, though. I just wanted to show that one. That's the first one I'm going to start with. The second one is this. So I was having a conversation on Instagram where I spent a lot of time, creating meme art, as I call it, and just having conversations with the folk. And I always come across these like anti-job folks, and I laugh at it, right? Because there's no one way to create wealth. So I hate people that job shame specifically within our community because, in my opinion, we need representation in like pretty much everywhere. Entrepreneurs, people in positions of power. But I'm not trying to turn this into a political show. But I found something interesting, right? So I was talking to someone and I made the comment about like CEOs being employees, and they told me that CEOs aren't employees. I'm like, how is a CEO not an employee? Like, what are you talking about? They're employees. Like you they're not all entrepreneurs. And also, for the most part, a lot of them aren't the CEO of a company they founded, especially as you start talking about the big boys, right?
Yep.
But here's something I found interesting, right? Going along those lines, another story I want to talk about to see if you guys heard about this story. So everybody knows that Jeff Bezos stepped down and Amazon has a new CEO. But did you guys see his compensation package? Listen, over the next decade, he's about to get $200 million in stock.
That's the new CEO.
Yes, the new guy. This is part of his compensation package. So I just wanted to share this with you guys, man. 53-year-old gentleman. Over the next decade, he's gonna get awarded $200 million. Hold on,
so he gonna do like Bezos. So he gonna do like Bezos, and basically his stock provides him with liquidity or whatever, and then
well, hold on, that's just part of his compensation. He's getting paid too. That's just part of his compensation.
No, because Bezos was only taking like $90K a year.
Yeah, he's not Bezos though. I'm just saying, like, he has a different compensation than Bezos. This is just when he's getting awarded in stock. So he don't have to run the whole Jeff Bezos play. Because remember, he was already on salary. He's coming from within the institution.
Yeah.
So
that's gangster.
I just wanted to show that sometimes in, just taking it to a personal story. The only private industry job I've ever had, outside of like consulting work, I worked for Johnson & Johnson for a minute. And what I learned from that experience is it was so many middle managers who were millionaires, literally off company stock, that I couldn't even count them. And they would show statements and things like that. And I'd be like, wow, all right. And these are everyday working folks, but they just happen to be working there, put their time in. So it's possible, and shout out to everybody with 401ks too. If you get a match on your 401k, you should be at least contributing up to what your match is. That's free money. That's the greatest money there is.
That's 100%.
Listen, man.
Gain. That's 100% ROI. Even if the stock doesn't do anything, that's 100% ROI.
Don't let any of these fake internet gurus fool you. If you got a 401k with a match, get that chicken. That's all I'm gonna say.
Whatever you put in there is guaranteed to make 100%. Because they're matching it 100% up to a certain amount.
I knew Keith was a stockbroker yet. See, like Pastor said, a job provides the seed for you to grow the fruit of wealth. This is absolutely true. Don's point, Don right here. Steve Ballmer was an employee and made enough money to buy the Clippers. That is true.
Crazy.
Steve Ballmer didn't find anything. He was there. He was shooting in the gym, but still.
Yeah.
So, there's a couple stories I want to talk about. So you see the actual package that $200 million over a decade.
Damn, right? That's gangster.
Yeah, so a couple more stories we're going to talk about while we're here. It's what I'm doing. I'm showing some stories tonight just to show folks what's going on out here in the investment space. Things that I find interesting and just a way to share information. Spencer Dinwiddie, as I call him, Dumlitty, one of my favorite players in the league, just because of his creative side when it comes to cryptocurrency. He has an app for creators, and he raised $7.5 million, right? And he's letting other folks invest in it. But here's what I find interesting about this, right? It's a token-based app for creators. And what it will allow you to do is raise money with tokens and allow fans to interact through video messages, online classes, video calls, and fan club subscriptions. And he tokenized the whole process. Here's the crazy part, right? You talk about like marketing and how they like just play on folks with marketing. They're going to have a clubhouse style rollout. We're going to invite influencers along with their communities and one by one try to drive FOMO to the platform. They are literally telling you that's what they're doing. They're telling you. This is how you know FOMO works. We're going to drive FOMO to the platform. And guess what's going to happen when they do that?
What do you think is going to shoot up?
But they're literally telling you up front, our objective is to drive FOMO. I remember when Clubhouse first came out, that was like the thing, like, yo, I can get an invite. I got an invite. And the whole thing was weird, but it was popping for a minute. And then, as everything, marketers come in and ruin everything, because that's what marketers do. Shout out to Don. Don, what's good,
man?
brother?
Come on,
Don, what's up, Don?
Stop drinking that. Jim, I want to see you live a long, productive, fruitful life, dog. Stop drinking that trash truck juice,
what's up, Don? Anyway,
come on, man.
But with that being said, though, they're literally telling you right now that they're going to drive FOMO to it. So I'm looking out to see what kind of project that will turn into. So Rochelle says, one of the reasons I'm still here is they're matching me. There you go. So Don says Kathy Wood trying to make a Bitcoin ETF. That could be a game changer. There's a lot of folks that are trying to do that. The thing about her is her following is crazy. Yeah. There's like Kathy Woods groups that people invite me to on Facebook where all they do is talk about her like she's a deity. Like it's absolutely insane. So if she did that, that fund would go nuts in day one. All her funds do. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the allure of Kathy Wood.
Yeah, man, the marketing and promotion.
Now I want y'all to go and do the numbers though. Take Tesla out of her portfolio and then tell me what her returns are. But you ain't hear that from me. Because I'm not hating. Just doing some math, that's all.
Well, I mean, she's smart enough to put Tesla in there, so
I didn't say nothing one way or another. I'm not making any judgment. I just want people to do the math. That's all. Another story.
Numbers.
Another story, right? Now, peep this story, right? Aave fire blocks in Galaxy Explorer. Next steps toward permissioned DeFi. I want you guys to pay attention to what this says. Permissioned DeFi. So what's happening in the space is this, right? But you read the article right here. Before banks and financial institutions can get involved in automatic anonymous lending, permissioned versions of DeFi will have to emerge. Here's what's happening. For anybody that has done a consultation, been educated through us with DeFi, you know what decentralized finance is. You know how some of the protocols work. What the big boys are doing now is trying to find a way into the space, but they still want to be able to KYC. To me, 80% of the reason I love DeFi is that there is no KYC.
There's no permissions.
Exactly. But this is what they're pushing for right now. So I just want to make sure people are paying attention to what's going on in the marketplace. It says here, financial institutions, including banking majors, see the power of DeFi and a potential threat to existing business models. What we've been saying, right? Here it is in writing. So they see the threat to their current business model. What they don't see is the ability to carry out KYC, which is know your customer checks, in the realm of pseudonymous lending pools and automated marketing. So I know some of you are like, what does all that mean? But those that do know understand exactly what that means. So just pay attention to what's going on in DeFi, because there's a lot of money that's going to be flowing into DeFi. So what does that mean?
The coins are going to go shooting through the roof, but that also means that is going to be more and more centralized. I don't like you're if you want to stay decentralized, you're going to have to literally seek out decentralization, because what they're going to try to do is to maintain power, and the way to maintain power is to centralize all the information. The second I got a KFC, I'm out. I mean KYC. I'm not with it.
Same here, bro. Like for me, one of the reasons why I've embraced DeFi the way I have and spent so much time studying it, and I say I spent time studying it, like I sacrifice sleep and all kinds of other stuff to kind of understand the protocols and things that are going on, is because of the decentralization. It's the same reason why I fell in love with precious metals. It all equates. Is the decentralization, and it's not that I'm trying to avoid anything. I just feel like
I want control of my own product.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want nobody between me and my product. If I want a coin, I want to be able to grab that coin. I don't want some other centralized entity in between that. And then when I want to do something with my coin, I don't want to have to go through a centralized entity that slows the process down, and it costs me more because that centralized entity wants to get paid. So I don't want to deal with that.
Also, man, it's like when you actually think about it, like when you think about some of the fees that banking institutions charge, like, yo, you're charging me for my money. It's my money, right? So, but just pay attention to what's going on in the space, because I'm seeing more and more articles like this. I want to share some of those articles as we start this conversation. Like I said, we're not going to be here too long tonight. I also make sure I answer any questions. If you guys got any questions about anything, any kind of options questions, crypto, real estate, precious metals, anything,
come to the class on Saturday. If you signed up and didn't come last week, make sure you show up this week.
Oh yeah, that's for the youth, but if you could pull up too. But
pull up.
I'm just saying, if you have any questions right now, please go to the chat right now and ask them, while we're sitting here. But those are some of the stories I want to talk about, Core, man, because outside of that, man, everything is about what we're building.
We need to talk about Robinhood too.
Robinhood is getting ready to IPO.
They got IPO. They had two stories. They got jacked in the face this week for $70 million, which was a quarter of all the money they made last year.
Yeah.
Then they said, "Oh, oh, we gonna get hit in the head for 70 million. Let's go hit the market in the head for some more money. And then they IPO'd this week. So this is absolute chaos. Like, who would first? No, I'm mind my business. Anyway, listen,
man, you gotta understand though. You got one thing you do.
The market gonna do what the market gonna do, but you gotta be very, very careful with these IPOs, man. A lot of stuff IPO. Krispy Kreme IPO recently. Like, there's a lot of stuff hitting the IPO streets, and then you got the backdoor IPOs with a lot of stuff that's hitting the what's the name market? What you call it market with the when they get a partner that's already
a SPAC.
The SPAC market, yeah, the special acquisitions joint,
the special purpose acquisition company. So the thing is, if any of you guys have taken our 3 ways to triple your money in crypto, a huge section of that is about SPACs, and the reason a huge section of that course is about SPACs is because you see a lot in that space, but it's not just that. I mean, that information is relevant to everything. And Courtney did that part. She actually broke it down. And Samuel here says, Corey, thanks with the option play setup this week.
No doubt. I do that all the time, but I don't really, that's not something I really talk about. You know what I mean? I help a lot of people make a lot of money, but I don't the toot my horn to the high heavens and all that. I leave that for.
That's what we're here for, man.
I'm not a guru. I'm not a guru. That's why I don't really care about the credit. Like, I just want to make sure that if people contact me about making money, they get what they ask for.
Listen, man, I'll toot your horn, pause. But you're doing the work with the screeners and all that. And wait till you guys see that, like, take it to the next level with the MDC. So Ken here with a question. How would you recommend keeping Coinbase accounts secure? That is an amazing question.
You don't know how amazing that question is.
Because the first thing is this. The first thing I say is,
get it off Coinbase. That's the very first thing that he's going to say. Because exactly. I know that's the first thing I would say.
Get it off Coinbase. Never leave your
coins on an exchange.
Right? So you never do that. Now, you could put it in your private wallet. First off, understand the difference between a wallet and an exchange. Coinbase is an exchange. Now, they do have a wallet. They do have their own wallet. Now, if you say, well, I just want to leave it there, I definitely recommend against that 1,000,000,000%. But there are ways to kind of secure that too. You can use a 2FA hardware device, right? So you can use a 2FA hardware device, which means you would have to have that device in your possession anytime that you went on to Coinbase. So even if someone tried to hack into your account, they would have to have that hardware device in their possession. With that being said, I still wouldn't leave it on Coinbase, right? I still would put it in my private wallet. One of the things about cryptocurrency, one of the most powerful things about the crypto is being able to control it. As my brother Bitcoin Zay says, not your keys is not your cheese.
Not your keys, not your cheese.
So therefore, I would always get it off. But you could use a 2FA hardware device. Now, if you're me and I'm so crazy about security, I have mine off of the exchange on a cold storage, and I still use a 2FA. Listen. If you stick my stuff,
if you running up a big bag, man, you're the actual bank, so you are responsible for security. And if you're running up a bag the way we talk about running up a bag, you're going to need security because somebody's going to want. If you got a bag that big, somebody's going to want a piece of it.
And Ken, the one thing I'll be honest with you, that's why I think is an excellent question because that's like that could damn near be a course itself. And by the way, security will be part of the NDC as we move forward. Anyway, but yeah. But you asked a question, so I'm gonna answer it. The thing about that is, it actually slows me down personally. It can be a headache at times because in order for me to make a regular transaction in DeFi, I first of all have to have my ledger and approve it, and I gotta have a 2FA. So I have like several steps that I personally have to take where somebody else can just open up their MetaMask or their Trust or whatever and just press 2 buttons and they're done. For me, it'll take a couple more seconds, but I would rather have those hurdles because that means that anybody's trying to take my stuff is going to have those same hurdles. And if they don't have those physical devices, it's going to be very, very difficult, damn near impossible for them to get, so that was my answer to that question. But that's a great question, Ken. Thank you for asking that question. So Pastor says, the last few jobs I've had, I negotiated 0 strike stock options as part of my compensation package.
Damn.
Okay.
Damn.
Listen, man, Pastor, get to it, man.
Yeah, right? If you ain't like you busy on the drizzle.
Hey, yo, Adrian. What's going on, Adrian? How you been?
Yo, Gizzo.
Where you been, Adrian? What's going on in Chi-Town,
Yeah, right.
Man? You know what I'm saying?
Everything good in Chi-Town?
Yeah, man. You got to check on people in Chi-Town, man. Like, you know, it's
Check
crazy.
on people in Philly. You can check on us.
Yeah, that's true too. It's wild out here. It's wild out here, bro. Every time I wake up in the morning, but the crazy part, and I'm not victim blaming at all, but yo, some of y'all be out at weird times of the night. It's like such and such hit up at 3 a.m.
asking for the criminals to come get
listen, that's not what I'm saying, because I do not victim blame you. I'm just saying, like, some of y'all gotta chill. Y'all be on the middle of the street.
Criminals going criminal, but if you will put yourself in the criminals' crosshairs, they're going to shoot.
Listen, you should be able to walk the streets at any time you want to, because you know what I mean. You should be able to do that.
I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying, there's consequences to every act, right? And we all know that this world is not a perfect world. So I'm not blaming you for being where you are at the time you are. I'm saying that life is a numbers game, and you just raised the chances of you getting jammed up exponentially by being in that place at that time.
Most folks know that I do a lot of consulting work in terms of being a real estate analyst. So I look at data pretty much all day long. And one of the things about looking at data, whether it's data from crypto, data from real estate, data from stock, one thing about looking at data is everything comes down to math for me, right? Probabilities and statistics. Yep. So statistically speaking, if I'm walking around at 3 a.m., no mind, I don't want to get, because I don't want a victim blame. So Adrian says that I was on vacation last week in Vegas, and they've been shooting like crazy since I've been back. A newborn and 9-year-old shot yesterday. Oh my God.
Sorry to hear that. And that's
oh my God.
Disgusting. Yeah, I don't yeah. That's disgusting.
Sheesh, that's nasty. My wife was listening to a podcast. I have no idea what podcast it was. It's probably that John she listens to. It's called like Death, Sex, and Money or something like that. But it was a lady on there talking about she was a Chicago school teacher. And she was talking about how difficult the summers are, because when she comes back from a summer, it's guaranteed that some of her students ain't gonna be there. They're gonna be dead.
Listen, the teachers at the school that I was teaching at this year, remember we were talking to one of the teachers there, and he's saying,
one a month.
It was like 6 of his students got killed in a month.
Yeah.
It was absolute chaos. He's like, like 6 of my students got killed in a month. And I was like, damn, like, they really getting these kids out of here. Like, he's a middle school / high school teacher.
That's insane. It's sad, bro, because it's happening everywhere, man. I was looking at spending way too much time on YouTube was normal. They were talking about like all the killings in Brooklyn. I'm like, hold up. I'm like, I got this article on my laptop telling me that Brooklyn is the most gentrified area. And then I got also this video telling me that they murdering everybody in Brooklyn. I'm like, that's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? All right, so a question from Jamil. Will you explain Jack Welch never taking the cause seriously for that purchase? That conspiracy needs to get laid to rest. Yeah. So Jack Welch is the former CEO of GE, a legendary manager. Although it could be argued that he was doing a lot of fraud, but that's either here nor there. But he's definitely a legendary manager. And at the time, I remember this back in the 90s when he was the CEO of GE, their stock was cooking.
Fish grease.
But he also was responsible for NBC. At the time, GE owned NBC. Talk about GE being in way too many businesses, man. GE was doing healthcare. They was doing mortgages. They was running NBC. And what Jamil is talking about is that whole conspiracy of Kaz and NBC was like all baloney. Here's what I'll say about that. I've read that it's all BS, right? Once something goes on the internet, people run with it. I saw a friend of ours put up a comment about the young lady, what's her name, Shikari. He was like making a joke, like they only going after Shikari because there's oil under her grandma's house, and that's the conspiracy. Look, but he was joking. He wrote in the comments that this is satire, and people were still arguing. You might be on to something. I'm like, yo, he just told y'all it's satire. The internet is weird, man. I've come to the conclusion with the internet that the internet is a place where it's like it's binary. It's either this or that. There, like nuance,
there's no gray areas and middle ground. None of that.
Yeah, all those things are left out, man. So like, it's difficult having certain conversations, specifically the Cosby conversation, because there's so many sides. And I'm not even talking about I'm not defending him. I'm not saying anything about him because I ain't even talking about it. But what I will say is this: people aren't ready to have nuanced conversations because they want you to feel either this way or that way. And a lot of this gray area with everything. The older I get, the more I recognize that, especially as it pertains to like major issues.
I'm gonna tell you this, and this is why some people love me and some people hate me. I don't take anyone's accomplishments away from them, no matter what they've done, because that's part of what they've done, good or bad.
Yeah.
Right. So just say, Charles Manson or whatever. Charles Manson killed a lot of people. He also created some other stuff that people still use to this day that I won't get into.
Did he? I don't know. I wasn't familiar with what he created.
Charles Manson was an actual genius, but we're not getting into that.
I didn't know that. All I know is he's a racist, but that's either here nor there.
He was. But also, the same way, Dr. Cosby created some amazing things. I also think he's a piece of shit human being. And that's neither one of those things are, they both can go together. You know what I mean? Like neither one of those things are separate. You can separate them or you can put them together, but they all of it can go together. So like there's people that people admire. There's lots of people that people admire that are trash human beings. Mm-hmm. I mean, absolute garbage human beings. But because their business ain't put on the internet, they're allowed to be revered and sought after. There's people who've told you how trash they are, and y'all still revere them.
Let me tell you something real quick, right? So several years ago, I wrote a book. It's an amazing body of work. It's called Sports. Here's the book. Matter of fact, I'll pull it up, right? Here's the book. And that's me, Jimmy the Blueprint Williams. This book was released in October of 2015. Damn. So that's
6 years ago.
6 years ago. So I wrote this book, right? I wrote this book years ago. Why am I sharing that? There's an actual chapter in the book where I talk about like the separation, because it's basically just like a lot of my philosophies, but it's using sports as the backdrop. But where I talk about someone's accomplishments versus them as a person and being able to kind of do what you just said. That's an actual chapter in the book. Now, if I'm being completely 1,000% transparent, which I like to do with our audience, I have a hard time with that myself, even after I wrote that, right? After I wrote that, I guess it comes with age and more experience, because it's difficult for me to do that now, right? So as it pertains to art, let's say this person has created this or created that, like there's certain music I can't listen to no more because of whatever this person is. There's been several times where like the Cosby Show will come on, and generally I'll just watch it because it's my ish. If I'm being completely transparent, the reason I went to an HBCU was because of Bill Cosby. Being transparent again, me and Cosby did community work together. There's an actual picture of me and him on my Facebook page where folks were coming at my neck talking about, take this down. That was from 15 years ago. Like me and him actually sat down with the school district of Philadelphia trying to put financial education. Again, I've been doing this work forever, trying to put it into the school district. It never happened, but he was the catalyst that got me at the table. So I had a personal relationship with him, but it's still, and maybe that's why also, he got to chill with a 256 shirt, although that's not my ministry. I'm 254. But I said it to say this, Corey, to your point. That's difficult, bro. It's difficult. It's difficult to separate, you're right that you should be able to, but it's not easy.
I do that with everything and everybody. That's part of why I don't really get upset when people do crazy stuff, and I don't really care whether they do, because I know human beings are going to human, right? So I don't have no heroes. Like you'll never hear me talk about heroes because I don't have any. Mm-hmm. Because I know all of these people are human. I admire things that people do, and then I hold people accountable for crazy trash shit they do. Mm-hmm. Like, so it's not. I don't really care about. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really.
Here's the thing. That's a different perspective. So for me, I'm not gonna say I care because I don't necessarily care. Because I feel like the world is big enough for me to move over here, you stay over there, and I have to deal with it.
Yeah. I'm not talking about caring in the sense where
but I guess
affect your life one way or the other.
I guess what we differ is I do have heroes. I mean, most of them don't appear in no stamp, but I can say that I have heroes. Like, so, but the thing is, I still expect people to be people, even though I do have heroes. I understand that people are human. And the funny thing is, most of the people who I would consider a hero, like a Malcolm X or Marcus Garvey or Ida B. Wells,
I know what their transgressions were.
But no, what I'm saying is the fact that they had transgressions is what makes them more of a hero to me, if that makes any sense.
But we living in 2021, right? So I wrote countless amount of Facebook posts saying that none of our heroes would have been heroes had they grown up in the internet era. I literally could make a book of the Facebook posts I wrote about how our heroes wouldn't even be heroes today because of cancel culture and Facebook and internet culture, right? Because they wouldn't be allowed to progress. Like, at what point are people allowed to progress from what they were to who they are?
No, I agree.
At what point are they allowed to progress? And and because everybody live in the spotlight now, it's like everybody live on live TV because everybody got a camera in their hand because everybody got a phone.
But you know what though? I have a way of feeling about that too because I don't think cancel culture actually exists. I don't think it's a real thing.
I don't think people really cancel people either. But I'm just saying I was just giving it the common name. But what I'm saying is that people will put people in a box and never allow them to grow. It's like they put a plant in the ground and they don't give it no water. They never allow it to grow. They don't give it no water and no sunlight, never allow people to grow. And so how are people supposed to go from who they were to who they are if you never allow them to?
I think that to me, I think it just becomes you have to understand the world that you're living in, right? Because I don't think cancel culture actually exists. Nobody's actually really canceled. If R. Kelly was released tomorrow, he could sell out a show. Tomorrow.
I personally wouldn't touch R. Kelly with a 2,000. What I'm saying is I know people who would.
That's my point. My point is so no one is really canceled. And the funny thing is if you ever take marketing classes, right? They always talk about getting to who your actual consumer or person that will support you is. And one way to do that is to negate most of the people who won't, right? Because at the end of the day, everybody's not going to always love you. They're just not, right? But if I can find enough people that do love the work that I do or do enjoy the product that I have, that's all I need. I say that to say this, when certain people are quote unquote canceled, all they do is they fall in line with their people. That helps them get to their people faster.
Like Donald Trump. He's the most powerful dude in the world.
Exactly.
He found his following.
And now he's probably more powerful than before he was actually.
Yeah, because those people that bang with him hard. And those people who don't, it don't matter because he ain't talking to them anyway.
Exactly. And that's my point. So when you understand that coming into any sort of situation, that's why even though I wrote about it in that amazing body of work, and by the way, you can get that book at sportsthebook.com. It is still available. I kind of like, not that I'm retracting what I said. What I said, I still believe. It's just that I have a different perspective now. And as I gain more information and get older, I have a different perspective on a lot of things. But that's just one I was thinking about recently as all these stories come up, you know. But that's the thing. When you get to the person that you're looking for, and you could build with that audience, it doesn't matter if the mainstream people consider you canceled. Actually, it probably makes you more powerful. You're considered canceled.
Listen, man, I wrote a post. I think that was yesterday or the day before yesterday, where I said on the list of things that I think about 1 to 10, what people think about me is like 300. And because I don't trust nobody's judgment, because I look at the stuff people say and I look at the people they look up to. I'm like, man, if you don't get the hell out of my face with your judgment, so for me personally, right? I personally, like, I think that people, I don't want to say care too much, because you should care about what people think of you and how people think of you, because you know you want to build relationships and you want to build legacy. But like how people judge me, the standard they use, to judge Garbito. I'm like, man, listen, like I can't take y'all seriously. You know what I mean? And the thing is, you can't, like, how do people grow? Like, I tell people, there's been times in my life where I've been a super trash human being. Super trash.
But hold on though. That right there is the part. People don't want to have those honest conversations. I was having a conversation with my brother Dev yesterday, and I was telling him, I was like, the thing about it is, I watch how I judge people because I know who I was and who I was back then and who I am now. Like, and even from a culture standpoint, a lot of times we're not honest about the culture we grew up in, right? Yep. This conversation come up with a lot of college people talk about, well, that was the culture, then you drugged them. Like, we didn't grow up in that culture. We grew up in a whole different culture. We grew up in, doggy style chronic culture. Like,
listen, man.
So we want to keep it really real.
When young ladies was getting twirled at the damn Greek, I don't want to hear nothing about rape culture. Listen, dudes was running up on chicks and spinning them around and pulling their dresses off. I want to hear nothing. I want to hear nothing about how much. Like, this is why I'm saying, like, this is why I don't listen to these adult dudes talk about how morally, you know, they're on a higher moral plane. Man, listen, y'all was the same dudes running around at the Greek at Freaknik, spinning girls around and grabbing their boobs.
Bro, I listen. That's why I stopped having that.
I want to hear that.
I see people on my timeline being.
I saw y'all.
Listen,
like, I saw who y'all was. I want to hear that. And listen, you may not be that person now, but you're passing judgment at, you know what I mean? Like, you're not putting anything in context. So stop with the crazy moral high ground bull crap.
My point is, people don't want to have those honest conversations. We grew up in Triz culture. Triz was just what it was. Like, listen, there's folks that I went to college with who are like, you know, principals and vice principals now who
man. Listen, don't even put their business. I ain't going. Because I know what you're about to say, and yeah, so I you know what I mean. It happened. It happened. There was no cameras around. So,
all right. So Kill says, I think part of the issue is that perfection is a standard for many of us. That's problematic because nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect, you know. But the thing is, a lot of us aren't honest with ourselves, right? A lot of times we're so quick to pass judgment and point other folks, but don't take a look in the damn mirror. And see, and that's kind of like why I try to be careful with how I judge folks in situations. Because for one, none of us have all the facts of anything. Now, I can feel a certain type way about an individual, and guess what? That's okay. So I don't get upset. Like, you can feel a way about somebody, and that's okay. The world is huge. I don't have to like everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't have to like everybody. Latoya says Trump is a great example. That's probably the greatest example. Like, he found his tribe and
you just ride with
them. And that's all you got to do.
You don't care nothing about
Jamil, YouTube channel. Listen, the Company Man. I've watched the Company Man since the day he launched the channel. Who put me down with the Company Man? Somebody on my Facebook page. This was years ago. We've been watching them Jones for a while. I know exactly what you talk about. You know, please pause company to scan the companies. Hey, listen. Here's one thing I will tell you, Jamil, about like, you know, my look for companies. And shout out to our brother Jake Johnson, who put up an amazing post today for those that I'm friends with. One of the things I learned about the whole process of going through DYO is I don't even look at a bunch of companies anymore because there's no need. There is no need for me to scan a bunch of companies no more because I've become a specialist in a small number of companies and I'm just going to eat off them for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, my portfolio, and I talked about this on here before. I talk about it on a regular show. I probably have one of the smallest portfolios there is because I'd rather go deep than wide, pause. So for me, it's just that, you know, that's how I build. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have 1,000 shares of a quality company than like 2 shares of 1,000 companies. That's just who I am. But I do that is an amazing channel though, about it, Jamil. It's definitely amazing. Listen, anything on YouTube, I probably know unless I don't, because you know y'all gotta put me down with YouTube channels because I spend 90% of my content, content stuff on YouTube. Like, I'm telling you, it was to the point, right? I don't know if I told the story on here. I was watching a Hawks game when the Hawks were playing the Sixers. And it was a dude who got a YouTube channel I subscribed to, and he was on the screen. I was like, I'm sitting there pointing like Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, yo, he's the YouTube, and my wife's looking at me like, well, who the hell? I don't know who the hell is. I said, his YouTube channel. Like, I'm a YouTube dude. So Latoya says, most people never get there. Finding it. First of all, I gotta say this, Latoya, you weren't here. We showed you love when you weren't here. So now that you are here, I want to show you love again.
Yeah.
Listen, we love and appreciate you. You know, because what you did for us, holding the camp down, and you're still doing the work behind the scenes. You're definitely appreciated, and I just want to make sure I acknowledge you in front of the folks. We appreciate you.
Like the glue.
And Latoya, real quick, I do gotta say, you know, I'm sorry to see that Dr. Kaz got out with your shirt on because he definitely had a 256 shirt on, and that was your school shirt. That was trash. That means that your name was on the back of that shirt. I mean, you probably know that already. I'm just saying, you know, sorry to see that. Don says his channel is dope, tons of knowledge. Yeah, definitely a dope channel, man. And Jamil, like, listen, if you go on other channels, I'm always looking for new channels, though. So, but I am familiar with that one. So Latoya says, check how many black women are depressed and suicidal because they're chasing perfection and they're superwomen. Yo, listen, I don't judge nobody, right? But I've been seeing like a lot of these videos on IG with like the surgery joint. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if y'all saw this one, John, where someone had a video camera. On, it was in Atlanta at the airport. You saw that?
No, come from the Dominican to Atlanta.
Yeah, you saw that video?
Yeah, man. Where all of the chicks was in the wheelchairs trying to get on the plane.
Listen, I don't judge nobody, man. Do whatever makes you happy.
I'm gonna say this, and this is one of those mind your business moments, right? Those people are investing in themselves. That's a lot more than most of y'all can say. Not y'all on our channel, but that's a lot more than most people I can say about most people. They're invested in themselves, right? Because there's a certain kind of dude that's looking for a certain kind of chick, and that they're looking for a lifestyle upgrade, and they're investing in themselves the way they know how to invest in themselves. Mind your damn business.
And Corey knows because he supports their OnlyFans. I'm joking, by the way. I don't want to put that on the record.
I don't have OnlyFans cash, dog.
I ain't trying to besmirch your name. That was a joke. Kill says, back in '99 on spring break in ATL, me and my mans all had on T-shirts that said, "These hoes just scared." I'm sorry for laughing. I've come a long way, but it helps me understand the behavior better when I see it in others. You listen, we've all done stupid stuff. But the point about seeing the behavior in others is something that's interesting to me, right? So even with the Cosby situation, right, on both sides, when you got people that's like staunch defenders and you got people that's like staunch FOH to him, one of the things I sit back and I'm trying to figure out why does each side feel that way, right? And I'm trying to get to the bottom of. So for me, I don't engage in that because you ain't going nowhere anyway. Because what I recognize is these days, when someone feel, you can't really get somebody off their square these days. Maybe they feel some way, they're going to fight on that lie, even if they know it's a lie. But I want to know why you feel that way. And, that comes with just time, learning, understanding. So when you make mistakes and you recognize that you aren't perfect, it makes you, so even when it comes to like a lot of these young boys and their behaviors and attitudes, for me, I want to know why. What are you going through? What's happening at home? Why are you like this? As opposed to just judging someone. But go ahead, Corey, I'm sorry.
So what I'll do is I support people, right? And I support, even if I don't believe in the ideas that they believe in and all of that kind of stuff, man. If I support you, right? Because people have lifestyle choices I don't care anything about. People support causes that I don't care. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you. I don't care anything about the causes, but I care about them, and so I'll support them in that cause. And so, because it's not, as you like to say, it's not my ministry. I don't proclaim to know enough about it. But if I trust them as a human, I'll support them in whatever they're doing. And so that's not me saying that I'm a perfect human being, because I jack stuff up all the time. Like I jack it up all the time. Like I'm not perfect. But what I will say is I support the people and the things that. So the reason why I don't bang with R. Kelly is not just because he's a rapist and an asshole. I would still play the music because of my beliefs, but because the women around me think he is so heinous, I would never put them in that position to have to go through that with me, right? Because I still think the music is banging. Like I'm not even gonna lie and say I don't think R. Kelly catalog is amazing. But what I will say is I will never play an R. Kelly song simply for the fact is that I support the women around me that think he's a trash human being. And so that's enough for me. You know what I mean? Like he's that, if that many women around me think he's that trash, there's no reason for me to even think about putting on an R. Kelly song in their presence. And not even in their presence, never, because it don't make no, like, I don't think of him and like, it's not important enough to me to go seek out R. Kelly music when they're not around. You know what I mean? Like, that's just goofy. And so what I'm saying is that, when you support people and you support them in a certain kind of way, their causes, you'll think about, the things you do. It made me become a better, like the people around me, like when they say your circle, your circle help you improve. My circle has helped me improve immensely because I have thought patterns and stuff that don't have any, that like society would probably hang me by my damn toenails if they knew what I thought about everything that that goes by. But because I got a great circle and I support them in the things that they do, you know what I mean? That's really how I became a better person.
All right, let me get this comment.
Support them.
from Don. Don says facts, core ETFs, and a few amazing companies, and I'm good. Don, that's exactly my portfolio, bro. That's it right there. What you just said. Hey, no problem. Listen,
it's all true. So it don't even we only gotta make it up.
Oh, she said, did y'all see my comment in the Inquirer article? I posted it on my page. Inside Edition was trying to get me to do an interview. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Still 256 forever. Oh man.
Yeah.
I gotta go check that out. I didn't know.
Good call.
Yeah, I did see your post, but I didn't know all that happened after.
Yeah.
Crazy. So Jamil says that I've been thinking about scaling down to 10 companies based on my bread and focusing on running up 100 shares so I can add cover calls and income stream. Still fresh and finding my lane, the long-term strategy as well. At 40, there's nothing wrong with that, bro. You took action. You got started.
Yeah,
that's all that matters.
You got started. You'll find your stride. When you find your stride, you're gonna run like a damn, like you're gonna be like a cheetah out here. You're gonna be running. Nobody can be able to stop you.
Yeah. So here we go. Crystal says, "Good evening. Thank you for the virtual camp. My little 7-year-old really liked it. We'll be there. Oh, listen. Thank you so much. Thank you for the feedback. It's definitely appreciated. Camp does start tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, so that's 8 a.m. your time. We're trying to add some more things to it. Like you said, shout out to Latoya for helping us do that. We're trying to get better. Like I said, it was our first time doing it online. But, as we try to perfect it through these weeks, it's going to be amazing moving forward. But thank you so much for just, bringing your people through. We appreciate you. So JA says, it's difficult, but we have to learn from others' mistakes. They may do great things as humans, but then get caught up in things that are flawed and come with the territory of success. We can do better than the people whose works we admire. I love what Mayor Street did in Philly with Temple number 12 for minority-owned businesses, but things they get a little sloppy. But I admire an executive making efforts with a Black Power group to get contracts. Shout to Mayor Street.
Yeah,
Mayor Street come from
he come from the Black Power movement. Yeah. So he did the opposite of what the unions hated him. They wanted boy out of there bad.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Mayor Street, man. And shout out to Sharif Street, another Central graduate.
251.
Playing catch up is a mofo.
And Sharifa, his sister went there too.
Yeah. Playing catch up is a mofo. Yeah. Listen, because one of the things about playing catch up, right? But the good thing is you got started, right? So Corey likes to always talk about thinking generationally. So it's not just about you; it's about those that come after you. But you took the hardest part, which is getting started. But the thing about that is time. Time is a big factor in wealth building, which is why we do the camp, right? Because we want to put time on the side of our people. Antonio just succinctly said what I've been saying for the last 45 minutes, but because he's Antonio, he knows how to say the same thing in one sentence. He said, it's hard at times for people to accept the duality of our nature because to do so means they have to accept the same in themselves. That's all I was trying to say. I just couldn't get to that sentence because I was talking for 45 minutes rambling. But this is what I mean. Thank you, Pastor. Because that's exactly what it is right there. That's exactly what it is. So Jose says, spent the week trading SPY, journaling and learning how to be patient with my trades. So Jose, question for you. Is that something that because I heard you mention it also another time. Are you going to focus exclusively on SPY? Is that going to be your strategy? Because I know a lot of people that trade nothing but SPY. And it sounds like that's where you're headed.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's where you're headed, but that's where you're headed. But yeah, man, so this has been an interesting week nonetheless, man, with everything going on and in business as well as like just culture. The verses was crazy. Shout out to our brother Kumari for slandering me all day.
Yeah. I'm gonna catch some of that fire on Sunday too.
Yeah, he was slandering me all day. I'm like, dude, like, but anyway, we'll get into that on Sunday. But no, but this has been an interesting week as we head towards July 4th. But what is July 4th to us late? Never mind.
Yeah. Never mind. If y'all haven't gotten into the readings of Frederick Douglass, I recommend that. I recommend that a lot. I put down one book, Bill Brother Bill, to get to this book because this is what we read and we're gonna do a show on this.
Oh my God. I just got trauma when you put the cover up. I felt pain in my body. Like
so I put down one book to get to another one, man. Listen, I ain't even get my notes and my sticky pads in that joint right because I started reading and I was like, ho, I gotta go back and get my notes and my sticky pads.
Cass messed up my annual reading goal. Like I'm not. This will be the first year I'm not going to make it because Cass is like, bro. That thing, man, is heavy. That's all I'm gonna say. That thing is heavy. Like, it's been months that I've been reading that book because I actually have to go back and do. It makes you do research for one, and then for two, like just dealing with like the pain of reading what you're hearing. And for those who don't know, Cass is by Isabel Wilkerson. If you haven't got the book, please get the book. Like, we're going to do a whole show on the Black Wealth Project about that book, but it's a very powerful book. So I got the I'm digital too, so I don't have it physical. But I'm saying, like, what I mean, I got it right here.
Yeah, man, I gotta have a physical. Like, reading on that doesn't give me a headache.
Listen, man, I told you I'm in 2035. I like having 6,000 books in the palm of my hand, but yeah. So Don says July what? Never heard of that. The meaning of the 4th of July to the Negro. That's right. Less reading this year, more studying what I read. See, Don just put what I said in other words too. So that is it, right?
Yeah.
But caste forced me to do that because the premise of caste is that we actually live in a caste system very similar to India. But she gives example after example after. She's like smacking me in the face with different examples. I found myself having to research each one, and it's a lot of history there. So let's see. So I've been MIA with an MDC, give tips and tricks for DeFi banking. I feel like my money is just sitting there and I'm bouncing between ETH and USDC to protect everything. Absolutely.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you're bouncing between Ethereum and USDC, that's right there. You could be arbitraging your money. So you could be making money. It doesn't just have to be sitting there.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, just be careful that you don't miss the run-ups, right? Because if you're long ETH, then you may not even have to jump into USDC. Now, USDC, if you go in a major crash, that's a good move. You see it crashing, because what tends to happen in crypto. But it's definitely going to be tips on DeFi. So that with the MDC, that's the part of what we're doing with DeFi.
It is going to be alerts.
It's going to be alerts. Some of the strategies we're using, some of the things that we're doing.
Yeah, when we go in and out of stuff, y'all will get alerted.
It's all sorts of information we're going to have. I love the comment because people say this all the time. I love the digital aspect, but I still want the physical copies for when they cut the lights off. Listen,
They cut the lights out. You ain't gonna be able to read them anyway, though.
Listen, if they cut the lights out, that means that there's gonna be some stuff going on that I ain't gonna be
zombie apocalypse. Your books ain't gonna be able to protect you.
Yeah, listen, man. All I'm gonna want is that heat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Listen. I'm grabbing them ladders. I don't care about books if the lights go out. So that's the thing. I hear a lot of people tell me that as I talk about crypto. Like, what about when everything happens? I mean, for one, I got my medals too, but even that, like, the lights go out.
I'm getting the choppers and the poppers, and I'm going to the bunker. And we gonna talk. We'll talk about whatever happens after that.
Yeah, I'm saying. So for me, I like this. Hey, listen. All I'm saying is I'm digital, guns and butter, baby. Listen, yeah. I'm just digital, man. Money digital. Listen, music is digital. I don't know physical CDs, none of that. Do they even make CDs anymore? Like, who knows?
Yo, don't act like that.
You still got CDs, bro? Tell me you got CDs, bro.
I still got CDs, but I don't use them. I mean, I still got the CDs I had before. I still got a game. Hold on. They're in my storage.
Your car is a CD player?
No, I got a 2020 car. My car don't have a CD player. No, it does. It does have one.
Oh, listen, bro. All I'm saying
I have a 2020, but it still got a CD player. I think it got it. I haven't played a CD in there, but I'm pretty sure it has a CD player.
All I'm saying, man, I didn't know they still made CDs, bro. Like, that's all I'm saying. I'm so digital with it. As Funk Flex would say, I'm so digital. Like, listen, I got everything. Books, movies. I went through years ago, right? I took all my DVDs, all my CDs, burned them digitally. This was years ago. And then this is because what I did was I sold them all on eBay. Got that chicken. But I was already moving digital way before that. So
yeah, I mean, like, all my CDs in the storage somewhere, but I still like to have the physical copies and stuff. Like, I got records. I got comic books. I got the physical copy of a lot of stuff. My storage bill nutty. Like, my storage bill like having a house.
Yeah, you drunk. I ain't got none of that. Listen, my comics, I got a couple comics physical, but that's it. Even my comics, I got them digitized too. I got everything digitized.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I've been collecting stuff since I was a kid. So, like, you know what I mean?
Listen, I was too. Listen, when I talk about the DVDs and CDs, I literally, at the time I did it, I had 4,037. I remember the exact number, 4,037 DVDs. Digitized them all and sold every one of them on eBay. Sold them all. But so I got like only thing I got physical at this point is hard drives. I got hard drives with everything. I got a bunch of hard drives with movies. I got hard drives with like comics. I got hard drives. So I got hard drives, and a lot of stuff is so I keep it in two places. Hard drive.
No, I found a site.
The crazy part is, as we have this conversation, I thought about it. Like you talk about your storage bill, my cloud bill is probably insane as compared to most. Like I have to pay for cloud storage. That's how much cloud storage I use because I keep stuff on a hard drive, but I also keep it in the cloud.
Yeah.
But like I said, I can access my stuff anywhere in the world. Anyway, I don't know how we got there. So Jamil, shout out to Jamil because Jamil got us on a whole tangent with that question about NBC, and then we just went off the rails at that point. Adrian said she's getting the go bag. She on some Raymond Reddington stuff right now. I'm all digital though for real, but there's a few books I must have a physical. There's a couple books that I had the physical because there is no digital too. Powernomics, my favorite book of all time, being one of them. There is no digital, so I have the physical. There's a couple.
I got that physical too.
Bill Brother Bill is another one that I have physical because there is no digital. I got a whole bin of CDs in the basement. Mixtape CD game was crazy. Listen, I do have a folder full of all Clue stuff, just Clue for whatever reason. I got a bunch of Clue stuff and a couple doo-wops from back in the day.
That's because Cannabis and them was murdering the scene for Clue back in the day.
I'm still physical, but digital was like Jedi and Sith holograms.
That's funny.
All right, so July 4th is our time to reflect on white America's fear that blacks will do what they did for freedom and self-determination. Boston Tea Party riots and fighting an oppressive government. On another note, guys, I'm coming from NYC to Philly to invest in fix and flip. People out there say contractors are worse than drug dealers. I may have to lean on you guys for help.
Your peoples ain't lying, dog.
Your peoples are lying. Listen, if you go to @ByTheHood on Instagram, you'll see half of my posts be trashing contractors. Contractors out here are absolutely worse than drug dealers. They're worse than Catholic priests, drug dealers. Anybody else that you want to toss in a pit of unfortunate, they're worse than all of them.
That's funny.
I went digital for music, MP3s back in the 90s. Getting most of my CDs stole when I was in Philly. You got
ran down on passes. They ran down on you. Listen. So I got a story about getting my CDs though. So 96, 97, it was 96 because my grandmother was still alive, and I had just come back from college, my sophomore year at college. Don't do the age on that. I was young and stupid, but and I had like a bag of CDs, 2 bags of clothes. Like I had drove back from college. I put it on my steps in my hood. Now, nobody in my hood had seen me for 6 months because I was in school. And you know what I mean? So I had came back for winter break. And I put my bag down because I was there for the summer and I was there for the fall semester. I put my bag down. This was like, winter break is like November, December, whatever, you know what I mean? Whenever the winter break is. I put my bag on my step. And then I opened my door. I went inside. I took a couple of my bags in and walked in, like my clothes bags. I come back and my CD bag and my T-shirt bag is missing, dog. All my, my hologram T-shirts. I had a crazy amount of hologram T-shirts, and I had like 10,000 CDs because I had the books full of CDs, and I put them in a damn duffel bag. And don't you know, I seen some dude walking around in my Central hologram T-shirt. A smoker.
Like Coming to America?
A smoker walking around with my hologram. So I was, young wild Corey. I go in the crib. I don't get the big bag because I'm like, I don't really want to kill boy. So I get the mini bag and go run down on boy. And he, long story short, he sold 90% of my CDs and I couldn't get it back because he's a smoker. So
Yo, that's
and so he took my CDs. I got 10% of my CDs back, but
I mean, listen, bro, that's your fault. Like you
I put it. Listen, I was going 2 minutes, dog. Not even a whole 2 minutes.
Listen, man, that's the rules of engagement, bro. That's your fault. My business partner got me on go bags years ago. I have one in Harlem, building one here in the Bronx. Oh, y'all on some real Raymond Reddington stuff right now, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all building go bags in multiple boroughs.
Listen, man,
what you running from, bro?
We ain't running from nobody. We already know what's popping though. Oh, what the hell was that?
Hey, Jose, what do y'all put in y'all go bags? If y'all don't mind me asking, man. Nothing to incriminate yourself outside of that stuff. What goes in the go bag? So, Adrian, I know you building one too. What are y'all putting in y'all go bags? I'm just curious. Latoya says you had lost your street cred that quickly.
6 months. Listen, I graduated. I mean, I went to school in the summer because I was trying to get out of there. So I went to summer school my second year. And then I stayed the fall semester, and then I came home at the end of the fall semester. And the smokers don't believe that I was going to run down on them, and they took my stuff.
Rules of engagement, though. That's part of the hood. Man, I had bought the bulk of my collection on my trip and left with about 5 CDs, and I know it was the people I was.
Oh, that's gangster.
That means you got hit by your own folks.
Yeah, well, I mean, so did I. The smokers in my neighborhood, man. You know.
Probably, no, let me be quiet, man, because I ain't trying to incriminate nobody. I keep thinking I have a go bag and nowhere to go.
Yeah. That's funny though.
It's just saying I have a go bag. It sounds so gangster. Like, I got my go bag set. Jose really came and pooped on us. I got one in Harlem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm building one in the Bronx. Jose want to have one in all 5 boroughs.
Yeah, like a place to go. Food, first aid, batteries, flashlight, tarp, foldable tent. Damn, his go bag better than mine because I don't have no tarp in my gym. I got the foldable tent, but I don't got no tarp.
Damn.
I gotta get a cushion though. Like, you can get one of them yoga mat cushion Jones.
I gotta put this on the screen, man, just so I can come back and revisit this. I gotta step my go bag up. All I got is a Beretta. Food, first aid, batteries, flashlight, tarp, or foldable tent.
You told him not to put none of the incriminating stuff in there, dog.
Hey, listen, legally registered. In the event of rain, ID and badge. I used to be about that prepper life about 10 years ago.
That's not paranoia. That's preparation.
No, it can't. Listen, it can't get paranoid, bro. Like, yo, my wife had watched one of them episodes of like the Doomsday Prepper, bro. And next thing I know, we had all these deliveries coming to the crib. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, who needs 10,000 things of canned goods? Like, what are you doing? Like,
I'm not going there for
it. It can go there.
My go bag got like, it got energy bars and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't got no 10,000 cans of junk. I need, you know what I mean? Like, first of all, I was in the service, so I got my to-go bag look a little bit different than that. But like, I got some stuff in my joint. I'll put y'all down with some of the stuff I got in my joint.
I'm starting slowly. Water purification tabs.
I got those purification tabs too. I got a joint that purify water. I got a straw that purifies water anywhere.
Man, listen, all you need is a pistol, and you can take whoever got their to-go bag, and now you got your own to-go bag. I'm joking. I'm joking, y'all.
That's also true. That's also true.
I know, but
unless they got a pistol in their to-go bag, which then, an eye for an eye means both people will be blind.
I don't want no smoke, because then it's gonna be our to-go bag. It's gonna keep it at my house. I need to buy a plot of land and build a bunker now. Y'all to turn this whole show to something else. All your go back needs is gun and ammo. See, there you go. Like I just said. See, Latoya's about to have me in a trap.
Black forager.
All right, so I'm pulling it up right now just so I won't forget, Latoya. Like, so you about to have me on an IG trap. You know what I'm saying? Black forager on IG. Let's see what's on this page. Let's see. This page about to be crazy. Yo, by the way, everybody on IG, man, make sure you follow the By the Hood page.
Right.
And also my page too, JW the Blueprint, because that's why
I don't really care if y'all follow my page, because my page is just for fun. And you're not gonna get no good information from my page. So but if you want to laugh a lot, you can go to my page.
Oh no, most of my pages stuff on By the Hood, although I put ratchet food pics and all kinds of other ratchet memes.
Yeah, all my page is filled with ratchet memes.
All right, I must be spelling it wrong. No, I don't see the page. Come on, see accounts. I don't see nothing under that IG, Latoya. Is that
Black
it?
Forger.
All right, so I'm looking at it. I put it in the search jar. Nothing popped up.
We gotta figure that out.
IG is nasty. I put black and I put FOR. I see it's like booties clapping already. I don't even know what that page is. It's definitely IG disgusting, yo. Yeah, IG is disgusting.
I don't know how disgusting that is, but that's
no. I'm just saying, like IG is.
I don't know how disgusting. I would never say that that's disgusting.
No, that's not. I'm just saying IG is kind of wild, but no. So listen, okay, it's an A in it. All right, Forager. Okay. Yeah, y'all be having a great IG pages too, like all the crazy stuff to follow. All right, I found it. Okay, foraging and environment science. Okay, Columbus, Ohio. Okay, I'm on here now. Oh, she got a garden. He got a garden game. All right, I got that. I'm on here now. Thank you. Thank you for that, Latoya. I'm always looking for the and here's the correct spelling right here. You guys need to be introduced to a black school curriculum. This is the Hood Social Media Bloomberg channel for CNBC. I read a chapter on your time and space to my daughter. I tell her we have to hurry before I sell y'all book as an NFT. Appreciate that, bro. All of this is an investment in her education that will pay dividends for my great grandkids. So I appreciate that, man. Thank you for those kind words, man. Thank you for those kind words, man. You already know that, anything that we can do for you, we here. She gets busy. No, that's a dope page, though. I'm on her page now. Yeah, anytime y'all listen, like I told Jamil, like IG pages and YouTube channels, I'm here for all that because that's where I spend all my time anyway. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all got any like dope pages.
All right, I was looking for my pen so I can write it down.
It's Forager with a name. I see she out in the garden of the John, so I'm already peeping her page now. Anyway, man, listen though. Last things we gotta say before we get out of here. Make sure you guys pull up tomorrow. Classes from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Corey, you got some work to do. You gotta look at the stuff that the Toy sent you so we can make sure we're good for tomorrow. But
yeah,
classes from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Make sure you check your email because the recording of every class will be, tied to that Google Classroom. We actually shut down registration for 2021 because the response has been crazy. We have a couple hundred students this year, which is insane. And it's probably more than that because some people put multiple kids within the joint. So we probably approaching like close to 250, 300 kids. So that's dope. But make sure you check your email as well. Also, podcasts, right? So our current podcast is amazing. We got Shabri talking about like paperwork as it pertains to our community and why we need to be on top of our paperwork. She gave us a whole sermon on prenuptial agreements, which I thought was amazing. So check out that current podcast. Our next podcast is already done. We got a couple podcasts coming up that's fire. We got brother Mark Smalls, who's generally here in the comments. Mark is doing his thing as a real estate investor, so we talked to him about that. We got the Charm City Buyers coming up. We got all kinds of stuff coming up in terms of the podcast, so that's going to be pretty dope. Yo, Adrian dropping a documentary she's watching right now. Adrian, I already started watching it. I actually watched it. I was halfway done it before I came on here. Summer of Soul, produced by Questlove, legendary concert in Harlem. I believe it was overlooked due to Woodstock. It's on Hulu. Yes, it is on Hulu. Craziest part about that, I'm watching this and I'm like, yo, I've never heard of this before. And then the second thing occurred to me, Stevie Wonder is the GOAT. And you like, yo, Stevie Wonder was on stage just giving a show. And I'm sitting there like, yo, there's nobody better than Stevie, yo. And that's dead or alive. I just want to put that out there. Listen, bro, Stevie.
I'm not gonna argue with that.
I was sitting there watching this, right? I'm sitting there watching Stevie singing. Then he's playing his harmonica. Then Stevie go over and playing the drums, and he was like literally getting his Questlove on. I'm like, yo, why does he know how to do all this? Like, what is wrong with this boy? This is young Stevie too, by the way. And by the way, Stevie's catalog is the only catalog that.
And his writing credits, like on top of his actual music credit, his writing credits is sickening.
Yeah, but anyway, it's definitely a dope documentary. Also, what I found dope about this is only to me because I'm a Philly dude. You know how Spike Lee's joint says like a Spike Lee joint with his movies? Questlove, you ever look at like stuff that he produces? It says a Questlove John, J-A-W-N. That's just like old to Philly, so I thought that was dope. But anyway, yeah, man, Christmas is a lot of kids. It's going to be popping. Yeah, it definitely is, man. And so we also know that this is a holiday weekend, so a lot of people won't be there. That's fine. But the thing is, everybody will get access to the replay. That's the thing we want to do. You know what I mean? So, yeah. See, she just said it too. Absolutely, we can get them on the podcast. That's family.
We gotta do. If we send the searchlight up, they come through.
I've already said something to Crypto Black about it. But absolutely, that's people right there. So that's gonna happen. Dawn, what's up, Dawn? Thank you for pulling up. Hey, Dawn, shout out to you last week too. Dawn helped us out in the comments and everything on class.
Yes, indeed.
Appreciate you, Dawn. Just want to say that as well. Adrian, yeah, that thing is fire. So all right, so he agreeing with me. Stevie's the greatest living musician on earth. We need to treat him as such before he is gone. Listen, bro, that's what and I was watching it. It's the very beginning of this documentary. You see a young Stevie going crazy on stage. I'm like, yo, Stevie is the GOAT. Like, he just is. He just is, man.
Now, I was going to say Prince because of his musical acumen. Listen, I was going to say because of his musical acumen and his writing catalog. But then when you say Stevie, I was like, yeah, Stevie might got him. Because as a song maker, with his writing catalog on top of everything else, I was going to say Prince. But then when you say Stevie, I gotta say,
Yo, and here's the other illest thing about Stevie. Stevie makes all sorts of genres of music. Stevie makes rock albums, gospel, soul, R&B.
Yeah, man.
I mean, Prince just gets to the ish. Like, Prince be wilding, but Oh, absolutely, Crypto Black is definitely a dope. He's a dope brother. What I like about Crypto Black is that he's well researched. You know what I'm saying? So he's definitely dope. You know what I'm saying? So much love to you both. The babies are funny. Yeah, appreciate you.
And they about that business too.
Yeah, man. Yo, shout out to the young sister who was in the class and everything was about Bitcoin. I still find her amazing. I was laughing about that all week. It's like no matter what we talked about, she somehow made it about Bitcoin. That was kind of fire. But the babies are dope. So Dawn, we're actually about to get out of here. Now we've been on here for a while. We talked about everything from Corey getting robbed from by a smoker. We talked about $200 million going to Amazon's new CEO. We talked about what's going on in crypto. We talked about Cosby. We talked about the Freaknik. You know how our shows be. We all over the place.
Yeah. When we get on Friday and rap, we just be talking. But we love y'all. That's why we here.
Yo, Jamil, you a YouTuber too. I could tell because you know all these same folks. I know exactly who Elijah is. I know what happened to Common Sense. I find him an interesting brother too. I don't agree with him all the time, but what I find interesting about him is he's always well thought out. So I appreciate him. And he's heavy into crypto too. He got his own crypto community, so I know exactly who it is you talk about. But I definitely will reach out to him as well. I don't mind reaching out to the bro. I don't know him personally, but I watched his channel before. But I could tell Jamil, you be in these YouTube streets too.
It's all good. The replay will be available very soon.
You ain't got to stun on us like that. I was out in the garden, sound like Jody's mom and whatnot. I was out in the garden.
I was out in the garden.
It's cool though. Hey, send us some pics of the garden. I want to see what the garden looking like these days because I know Dawn gets busy when it comes to growing stuff.
She eats what she makes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Whatever, like she feeds herself. Ain't nothing. There's nothing more revolutionary than that.
Absolutely.
You can tell all the trash in the world. Anybody who can feed themselves, they're revolutionary. No matter what, they're a revolutionary.
Absolutely. So listen, this has been our Friday show, man. This is the 57th episode we done on Friday. So we just come and kick it on Friday, talk smack, talk about what's going on in the news, chop it up with everybody, the community, just have conversations. We appreciate you guys for tuning in every Friday. This has been amazing. Check out our podcast. Coming up, like I said, Mark Smalls is on there. And the current podcast, we got Shabri on, which is amazing. She had collards and kale for dinner last night that you grew yourself. That's fire. We got a lot of stuff coming on. Make sure you check out the new MDC we got coming is crazy. We'll be on Sunday's class. The Black Wealth Project still going on Sunday. So we got all of our general shows.
We got the kids class on Saturday.
Kids class tomorrow.
You can't listen. We talk a lot of crazy stuff about hard work, but we be out here, man. We be out here. But nothing we do is hard work is because we want to do it.
Yeah,
there's a difference. There's a difference between having to do it and wanting to do it. Jamil got a whole thing.
Jamil,
whole checklist, dog.
Jamil, here's what I want you to do. Jamil, inbox me all the names you got because I'm gonna make them all happen for one and for two. Hey, you saved me some work. You did all the work for me.
Right.
Find out who I'm bring on. I like that, man. See, here go pass it with the bars, man. When you learn to feed your mind, body, and spirit, you have self-actualized. That is freedom. We're gonna end on that note right here, man.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Core, as a matter of fact, for those that are on IG, we about to pull up on IG for a minute too. As a matter of fact, if one of y'all want to join us, just pull up on IG. We're gonna go over there for about good 15, 20 minutes. Check out the folks over there.
Yeah,
but we out of here.
In about 5 minutes. Give us about 5 minutes.
No, she said something about Chicago. I gotta check about Chicago because I gotta see what they gonna cut the check that I want. I'm not sure about Chicago yet, but I will let you know. All right, Jamil, appreciate that. I'm looking on Google Earth at islands in Belize. Ooh, I'll be smoking trees in Belize when you find me. All right, y'all, man. We'll see y'all in class tomorrow with the babies. Adult class on Sunday. Appreciate you as always. We love and appreciate every one of you guys to support us in everything we do. We on our way to IG though. See y'all next week. Peace.